All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the HCS Pro League Summer 2016 Finals. You just watched this match here, E6 versus Envy. Envy was able to close it out in 6 games, but now we shift gears a bit, gentlemen. Bravo here at the desk alongside Sims and T-Squared. Now we get into really the latter stages of the relegation tournament here. Of course, OpTic going up against eLevate.
Yeah, I mean, hard stuff. I was watching OpTic earlier on, and they look good. Don't get me wrong, they put up one hell of a fight, but I definitely say this is kind of in their bag. Liquid, 4 Odom earlier on, they looked a little bit shaky. More importantly, I've got to say, OpTic, and you'll be, as a player, you'll know this, OpTic were quite loud, but eLevate didn't say a single word. They were so quiet. It was like a library on their side.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of eLevate's style. I think that, you look at OpTic, there's someone that runs on momentum, very similar to E6. Then you look at eLevate. I don't really want to compare eLevate to CLG, but when you talk about their communication, a little bit more calm, cool, and collected. Now, I gotta admit, I was really excited for the first matches, but this is what I'm really looking forward to because this is an elimination match. Whoever loses here, they're going home, and they're no longer in the Pro League. They're gonna be fighting their way in the Legendary Cup, trying to make their way back up. And both of these teams are on the ropes right now.
You've got to say, I think OpTic are in the driving seat here because they looked really good. Honestly, I can't say enough about them. And I mean, I initially put them down coming into this competition and kind of says, yeah, they're gonna get trashed. They're gonna go out by denial, but they put up a really good fight. And if it's one person I've got to say to keep an eye on this match or this series, it's Straight Sick because, and you'll be able to team with him in the past, his communication, he shouts a lot, but it's small talk. It's where he's going, what the team's doing, and more importantly, what his teammates are doing. He calls out for them, and it's incredible.
Yeah, and Straight Sick will be the first to tell you that he learned from Frosty. So small talk is huge, definitely communicating to your teammates. Someone's going to have to step it up. You have 2 very seasoned coaches. You can see Hoaxer in the background behind eLevate. You also have Flame Sword, obviously, former player, also, very well-rounded player. With that being said, also a great leader. So curious to see who's going to be able to get, we were talking about the power weapons, who's going to be able to get control, who's going to be able to get these power-ups and just take that beginning and just get the momentum. Because when you've struggled, when you've already lost, and you're not coming out, looking too hot today, you need to win this first game. You need to not going down. CLG, they go down 2-0. That's okay. They're CLG. This is OpTic versus eLevate. They're not as well-rounded of a team as these other top 4 teams. Yeah, they're still, we have the best teams from America here, but they can't afford to make any mistakes. They can't, afford to be sluggish. That time has passed.
That's exactly it. Of course, these 2 teams, like you said, Tom, they're getting ready for a very different match, and they're here for a different reason. This is the first elimination match of the tournament, and this will determine really their fate for not only the weekend, but really the next few months of Pro Halo. Of course, the top 2 teams to advance out of this relegation bracket will secure spots in the fall season. On the other side of the stage, Sims, we have OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, those plates there, in fact, kind of took the words out of my mouth. When you look down at OpTic Gaming, you've got 2 national champs. You've got a global champ. You've got Straight Sick, who's won countless FFAs, and also in Halo 4, he's taken an event himself. These are event winners. There are veterans, there are legends, and more importantly, the one thing, and I was speaking to Spartan the Dog, and I couldn't agree more with him. You look on there, you've got Laniac, you've got APG. These 2, literally, as soon as they sit on main stage, it's like plugging them into a mains. They love it. They feed off of it, and honestly, being up there now, I can just see them charging up and electrifying us as we go into this series.
I mean, especially Maniac, of course. We've seen him do incredible things with the sniper rifle. I don't remember at the PAX East tournament, and in a post-game interview, he was talking about how he feels he's pretty underrated with the sniper rifle. And when it comes time to show up at LANs, he certainly puts on a show, so you can bet we'll be seeing some sniping from him.
Yeah, I mean, he really excels in Coliseum, especially. I think that's where we saw him really go off at PAX. But here's the thing, this has kind of been the story for OpTic Gaming throughout the entirety of Halo 5. We know you got super excited when OpTic got introduced to Halo, but you would expect them to be kind of where their Call of Duty team is when it comes to competing for first every single time, and that's just never been the case. They've been competing for first in the LCQ all the time, always trying to fight for their spot into the Pro League, and nothing's really changed. So they need to show what they're made of here. This is their time to shine, to prove to their fans that OpTic Gaming does deserve to be in the Pro League, that we want to be here for a long time. So I'm curious to see if they're they're going to do that. But that's been the same story for eLevate too. On the other hand, is they're always been fighting from the bottom up. So it's not too surprising that these guys are meeting here in this situation.
Yeah, and certainly one thing you can also be said about OpTic Gaming, right? They always like to make it dramatic, right? It's never an easy win. It's always the long road, and it's no surprise that they're here once again fighting for their lives for the fall season. I have to say also, Sims, in Europe, we got to see some pretty exciting relegation matches. Really the first time that we ever saw that in Pro Halo. So it's exciting now to truly have the first proper relegation matches in North America as well.
Yeah, and the same teams, they did manage to secure their spots. However, we had some very, very strong teams. There's quite I don't want to say a big skill gap between the open circuit and these Pro League teams. There was a lot of teams put together to try and challenge and take down the Pro League teams in Europe. But when we look here, these teams like Denial, these are seasoned rosters. These are seasoned players who know. We've essentially got Maniac going up against this morning. We mentioned it again. One of his teammates, who's also a national champion from back on BTH.
That's right, of course. You're looking at the series layout here. Let's take a quick look before we jump into the match. It's going to be Plaza Strongholds game number 1. Eden Slayer, Fathom CTF, and Empire Strongholds will be our first set of 4. And, the series will take an interesting turn after that if we start to hit extra time. Truth Slayer and Truth Capture the Flag back-to-back. Those are going to be grueling, fast-paced matches.
Yeah, so no Stasis, no The Rig. I think that these game types actually do favor OpTic. I think OpTic did a pretty good job drafting here. Originally, when I was watching them draft very, very early in the morning, I believe it was around 10:30 or 11 a.m., they already knew exactly what they wanted to ban out for every single team. They had already discussed it, and they seemed a little disgusted with themselves that they had to discuss it here. So they have a plan going in. Let's see if they can execute.
All right, looks like this game is getting underway, so let's go ahead and throw it to our casters now to jump into the action.
Thanks, Bravo. Yes, we are ready to get straight into the action. We're going to be kicking things off with Maniac. Now, OpTic Gaming already off to a slow start as the other team is able to get that first capture here. That pit is going to be the most important stronghold to capture here at the beginning and throughout the entire match right now. Maniac trying to put his life down there to get that capture, and he's able to do so.
In fact, it does help pick that one up here for OpTic Gaming. That's going to be one stronghold apiece now. The yard yet to be captured here at this point. Rather than going for that Maniac, I like this play, just charging bottom center, going directly for the contest here, trying to prevent that from going back over to the hands of eLevate.
All right, now Maniac pushing up. He's got 2 teammates right nearby him, making this push over towards top cinema and back down to bottom mid. That's going to be 1 down for eLevate right now. Perfect opportunity for OpTic to make a push, make that 2 down for eLevate, as OpTic is going to regain control here of bottom mid. Now they're able to potentially get some points on the board. There they are able to do so. 1 point on the board. Now, OpTic wants to control this outside part of the map. You want to keep that other team spawning over by the loop. You want to keep them spawning back in yard and potentially over by the cafe as well. Just holding nest, holding bottom mid. That is the textbook strategy here.
And I really like what we're seeing now. They have control, they're gaining time. Rather than being overly aggressive or over-committing to any specific one area, they're just playing it patiently, letting eLevate be the ones to be the aggressors here, try to take advantage of any mistakes that they might make. You see Brainstorm here now in the yard still, so that's exactly where OpTic Gaming wants to keep them. Maniac needs to just stay alive as long as possible, be a distraction here, and great shots there, picking up that kill on Brainstorm. This is going to give him an opportunity to push bottom center with the rest of his teammates and try to contest that. However, Nemesis with the shotgun. Let's go ahead and take a look at his screen. He's running around, picks up another big kill there on Ace.
Now over to Brainstorm, who is bottom middle right now. Had some moments right there where reminded me of Rami with a little bit of a shotgun play right there. But now eLevate is going to control bottom middle as Brainstorm pushes up towards the nest to get some type of control over here. At the same time, he will be blocking these spawns, but there is a player that did flank behind him. And look at this, at your kill feed, that's 3 players down from eLevate. Make that 4 down for eLevate. Now OpTic starting to make a push.
And now we can see here, we've got Ace trying to help his team capture that bottom mid hill. eLevate not able to get in position yet to try and contest that. That will go back over to OpTic Gaming. So OpTic Gaming controlling nest and bottom mid. I don't think we've seen one player even go near yard yet at this point.
All right, and for those of you just tuning in as well, we are watching the losers bracket here of relegation. The team that loses here will go home and will not have an opportunity to make it into the next Pro League season. And OpTic Gaming fell to Denial 4-2, and then on the other side, eLevate fell 0-4 against Liquid. So not able to win a game there. You know, I'd love to hop on board with a listen in with OpTic Gaming to see what their comps are like.
Yeah, Flowers, one shot, dip, Flowers, dip, Flowers, two of them. I got one. I'm in bottom. I got shots, Corey. Bottom. Yo, two of them. Get back there. Bottom mid weak. Aaron needs help. Someone get help now. On your turn. Saying it. One shot. To your right. One shot. Two Chris. No, Randa. There's two of them there. One shot, Randa. Say help. I need help. 2 here. One shot. Alright, there's 3 bottom mid. Camo 45. I'm behind 45. Yo, try. Your turn. Camo 45, guys. Soda. Wait for all. I'm gonna go. Glass. I'm in Nest. Glass weak. Shot late. Still left. Hold on. I'm in yard also. I'm going to help you yard. I'm taking yard. I'm going to yard. What do you get, Kimbo? I'm going to die in yard. 2 in yard. Live. 2 in yard. Are they above? Yeah, 2. Light and Flower. Light hole weak. Let's go yard. Yo, I spawned in the hotel. I'm in the hotel. Watch loop. I spawned Nest. Watch top yellow. Sarah, top yellow. S4. Keep talking, Brad. I'm S4. Hide. I'm at blue. Brad's posted to the store. I'm nading Flowers. They're all glass. Check glass. Two loop on right. Two soda. There's another one next. Stay live. Bottom mid. Your turn, one shot. Last 2. I got it. Soda. Snipe. Light. I'll get him. One shot. Nice shot, Corey. I got him. Nice shot, Corey. No, it's one shot. I got him. Nice shot, Aaron. Somebody watch blue. Bottom mid. You got one shot in him. I'm flanking from driveway. Watch out. Truck. More place. Yes, I'm nading Nets. I'll posters. I need help with posters. Snipe stairs. Where they spawning? Nice shot. Keep this up, man. Truck. Stay alive here. I'm in Nets. Yeah, he's lit. Let me help you. Hold up, Corey. I see him. Bottom lip. That's right. They're nading me. Watch out, Nest ramp. You're good. I need help, guys. I went top mid, Brad. When you can, Aaron. I'm top mid. Yo, bottom lip, Brad. VTech, 2 shots. Let him spawn blue. Get the top yellow. I got him. Good job, Aaron. Nice shot, Aaron. What'd you spawn? Soda in yard, probably. Soda. Yes, Snipes on me. He's on me. Posters. Shot, Brandon. Team shot. Yard. Try yard. I'm staying in now. 37's camo. 37's camo. Finish the game. Yard. Shot. Average yard. Yeah, shot. Push up now. We can yard on me. Bottom mid game. We get in. Let's fucking go, Corey. Keep that shit up. Let's go.
And just like that, OpTic Gaming comes out strong, taking game 1, 100-28. A lot of great things from OpTic that we didn't see when they were playing earlier on here today. They were really hyped up. They were communicating well, telling each other where and when they needed to go to certain locations, what they had on lockdown. Great play by Ace, locking down Yard essentially, and staying alive and delaying long enough and waiting for his teammates to come and helping contest. And great job controlling those shotguns as well. eLevate started off pretty well, putting up a good fight, but OpTic Gaming, they didn't even make a push for Yard until essentially the very end and held it down the rest of the game.
Yeah, OpTic Gaming really coming together right now. You know, they struggled just a little bit ago against their last matchup, but this time, I mean, we saw perfect communication between the entire squad, very calm, collected, and just keeping that teamwork going as well. You know, we saw them go 2-3 down at times, but they didn't make any of those bad pushes where one goes in, he dies. That second guy goes in, he dies. And this is that moment you were talking about where Ace just stayed alive back in that pocket there in Yard, waiting for a teammate to push out. And once he baited him in, his teammate was right there, helped him out, got that shotgun kill. So a lot of baiting and switching happening with OpTic Gaming, and you know, they held that 3 cap for quite some time there.
Yeah, they were heavily outslaying eLevate that game. Essentially, it was 52-38 as far as total kills go, and the score absolutely reflects that this game here as well. Game 2, we're looking at an Eden Slayer. Now, Mike, give me some kind of a prediction here.
You know, well, StraightSick just had 21 kills that game, more than anyone in the match. Now, going into this one, I think we're going to see StraightSick probably go off here. He's going to get the sniper. They're going to lock down that blue base. We've seen them do that before. Even against CLG, we've seen them have some great matches against them throughout the Pro League season. And unfortunately, they didn't close out the game and win. But, you know, once OpTic can hold that back at blue base and keep the other team pushed back, it's a completely different OpTic that we see when they're working together that way.
And let's take a look at some of the bans here. Of course, coming in, we did have eLevate go ahead and ban Regret Slayer. And then OpTic Gaming following up on the Brig, which is kind of an interesting one because I feel like that's a game type OpTic's played pretty well so far over the course of the regular season. Of course, eLevate bounces back with the Coliseum ban, OpTic Gaming with the Truth, back to the Plaza's ban, and then we're ended up with Game 2, Eden Slayer.
Yeah, now Eden, obviously the sniper is going to be the focal point for both of these teams. You know, eLevate, they have their backs against the walls pretty much, down 1-0 right now. The loser of this goes home, not making it to the fall season of Pro League. So there is a lot on the line for these two teams right now. I mean, it's a lot to happen in one day. You've got the bright lights above you, and it's a lot of pressure. So they got to keep their composure. And I said this before, if you lose that first game, it doesn't matter anymore. You got to move forward and focus on winning. You got to keep up that communication. I'd love to hop on board with eLevate in this next matchup just to hear what their comms are like. I wonder if they're frantic or are they trying to stay calm, because obviously that was a pretty big deficit right there. I mean, they didn't have too much of a chance on bringing that back once the OpTic pulled away.
And let's not forget that they were 0-4 against Liquid in their round 1. So with them losing this first game here to OpTic Gaming, they've still yet to win a game this tournament. So there's still a lot on the line for them to prove. I know you at least want to make sure you take a couple wins. And of course, these guys have been battling out all open circuit long, trying to get to this spot. And you do not want to go home, you know, essentially without even one win.
Yeah, and then you look at the player on the far left of your screen right there with the bandana on, that is Randa. Now, Randa has been on eLevate since the beginning right now. During Halo 5, he has been through a whirlwind of team changes there. He had Denoxide leave the team. Then also he had Hines leave the team, move over to Allegiance. So he's been constantly trying to reassemble a squad to be able to make this push to fight for that fall season spot. But, you know, I mean, power to him to be able to completely just keep at it, even though teammates are constantly coming and going back and forth, because that is one of the hardest things, to find a player that is dedicated, to find a player that's going to mesh well, and to be able to work well with your squad and just kind of be that full package for the team.
I mean, and like you said, overcoming all that adversity, especially of having players leave your team over the course of the season, and Randa, you know, especially, has been able to kind of bounce back and continue to place really well, even overcoming all of these different changes and whatnot. And not only that, but eLevate, you know, essentially they've been practicing all season long, but every time a team change is made, you have to refocus, go over all of the strats again, make sure everyone's on the same page. The additional time required is a lot there for these guys, and they have been putting in the time, and right now they need to make sure that they're playing the way they've been practicing all couple months long here. And as you can see, there's not a lot of communication coming out from them right now here. They kind of look down on themselves.
Yeah, I mean, that's not what you want to be doing right now. You want to be talking a little bit more. Actually, you see Randa kind of talking a little bit, but you can tell that they're a bit nervous. And standing behind them, you've got Coach Hoaxer. Hoaxer has been competing for quite some time. Has definitely been a star in free-for-all, and individually has been an excellent player. So having a coach as well, like we said, Clutch, I mean, having that experience, that's going to help them potentially win this series here. But you've got the keys to victory here for eLevate. They've got to keep OpTic guessing and just keep them on that respawn, because once you kind of get OpTic in a bad rotation, they're a little bit flustered, and they'll charge in one at a time over and over again. But you know what? We didn't see that from OpTic, so maybe they're capitalizing on those big mistakes and really starting to change as a whole.
Yeah, and when we say keep them guessing, like we heard in that listen, and when Ace said, you know, there's 2 dead here, check yard, they're coming from yard. So that's essentially OpTic Gaming knowing what's happening, figuring out where the teammates are, where they need to focus on, and where eLevate might be charging from. And that's exactly what eLevate needs to do here this game.
All right, so we're going to be playing Slayer on Eden. You're going to see that sniper rifle be the hot spot here. Let's jump on board with Maniac. He's headed straight towards outside. He's going to get this light rifle and make his way over towards the rocket launcher. Doesn't look like he's got any teammates helping him, but Randa's going to rip his face off. Now over to Randa. Now, if eLevate can keep this sniper at blue, and they have rockets on top of that. If they can clear this out, actually, you know what? Look at this. They're going to make the rotation. I like this play from eLevate. Even though blue is the better base to control, they're just going to rotate out and move away. They have rockets. They have sniper. They've got the clear advantage right now.
Oh yeah, play to your advantages, and the advantages are controlling every important power weapon on the map, essentially. They are still down as far as the lead goes, but 40 seconds into a game, you've got plenty of time to sit back, wait this out patiently. You have plenty of ammo in both weapons here, and just like that, Randa with a big kill, and wow, APG getting absolutely destroyed. Straight getting absolutely destroyed. Finally, Ace comes in and shuts them down. I mean, APG, that guy was no shields. You have to be able to pick up that kill. Randa just completely shut him down.
All right, over to Brainstorm now. He sees that sniper there, but he still has a rocket in his pocket. One left. Let's see if he can pick up a kill here. Although they did have all these weapons, OpTic Gaming is still in the lead, 8-7 right now. That's not what you want to happen when you've got the clear advantage. You've got to put those power weapons to use. They have 5 power weapon kills right now. OpTic Gaming on the other side doesn't even have a single power weapon kill right now.
Yet they still have the lead. That's amazing play from OpTic Gaming, finally showing up and playing the way they need to in order to take home these victories. That crazy play, like Randa getting stuck below the base, he didn't have any angles to focus and catch anyone from OpTic Gaming trying to push across. Needless to say, he had some amazing plays and no scopes to shut them down, but what are the rest of his teammates doing?
That was getting a little overzealous right there, trying to finish off that one shot. It takes a lot to try and just back away from a kill that you could potentially have. Sometimes you just got to leave those one-shot players behind. But now Straight with sniper in hand, he's going to take down Randa. Moving all the way over to blue base now, starting this rotation. He sees players over here at blue. He's got Ace ahead of him. Now this is a great rotation here from OpTic Gaming, trying to get to that prime spot here.
And I really like what we're seeing out of Straight. We initially saw this from eLevate, but they kind of just got trapped out of position. And right now they're starting to lose control of blue. I like what Straight's doing, sitting back where he's kind of got an opportunity to retreat essentially, and like we see from him right here. Now, all of OpTic needs to commit to one side, making sure they're taking advantage of any numbers that they can find, especially with double teams. And just like that, Maniac and Straight putting together some great teamwork, picking up 2 quick kills.
Although Straight did die, it was a great play that he switched over to the pistol and was using that to help out his team. Too many times do we see players where they'll just try to go for a crazy no-scope, and actually Maniac not going to be able to get that rocket off there, but Straight was able to get some shots on a player, and he was able to help out his team and pick up 2 kills.
Yeah, Maniac was initially on the fan there, decided to go back into the turbine area, isn't even able to shoot a rocket. However, Straight was able to pick those up and grab 2 quick kills. That's going to be the sniper here in the hands of Brainstorm as well. We saw him in the kill feed there already pick up 1 quick kill, so we'll see if he's going to be able to do anything else. The power weapon kill count here for eLevate still extremely high. The majority of their kills they are getting are either between sniper and rockets.
Yeah, they now have 9 power weapon kills. On the other side, OpTic only with 3. Let's listen in with eLevate. Let's see what their comms are going on.
Shot, stay alive, stay alive. I'm looking.
I got 2.
Nice. Huge player. They're gonna spawn security, they're gonna spawn tower. Rockets, guys.
We're here. I'm watching
He's
tower.
in turbine already. I got him.
Kyle, I'm coming. I left blue, so I'm gonna go back.
I'll go back blue. I'll stay blue. That's me.
That's right.
I left rockets. We get rockets?
We're here, Kyle.
I'm in blue.
Live.
Turbine.
Yo, mid-range, Kyle.
Mid-range.
Watch Charlie.
Rotate the blue out. Okay, I got one. I'm trying to live.
Kyle.
Are you outside? What's going on?
Yes,
Okay. Outside. I hear you outside. There's 2 above me. I don't see. You're going mid-cat. Going mid-cat. How are you mid-cat?
I'm nading it.
Bottom red. Bottom
I don't
red.
see anyone mid-cat. Kyle, you gotta get back.
I'm here. I'm looking at you.
I'm
good.
Dylan,
Okay.
Nading shotgun.
Dylan, you have shotgun?
I'm outside.
Live. I'm watching him. Okay.
Kyle, I'm gonna watch mid-bridge, Kyle. Mid-cat.
Come on, behind you, watch out, Dylan.
Nice. Shoot tower. No, look at me.
One more. Last tower.
Are we gonna push him?
Top cat. Are we not? I don't know.
He's in tower. I'm closet, guys.
It's security right now.
One hit. Security. One is it?
One shot in blue.
I
can't kill him. I'm running with snipe.
Come back.
Yeah, I'm running back.
coming, Nick. Where?
I went red.
Okay. I got 2.
Nice. I'll watch outside. I'm watching outside blue band.
One hit. 3 dead.
Alright, I hear you.
Sniper at red band.
Yeah.
Live.
There's 2 outside right now. I might die. I'm good. I have 2 shots. In sniper. I'm living.
I need a blue
I'm getting my
alley.
shields. Live, yeah, I'm not there, then. I'm not there.
Tower, what's going on?
I'm watching mid bridge, I'm watching mid bridge.
Blue alley, maybe. I'm in blue. I'm
Two out there.
Ace one shot.
I can't kill him.
One shot.
Alright, sniper down, right nest. Right nest right now.
Blue band, both one shot.
Live, guys, live. I spawned security. I hear you blue closet, I'm pushing. I got shotgun.
SMG.
I hear with SMG.
Watch inside red. Blue closet. He's going to blue security, Tristan. That's
I got him. I heard 20. I'm anticipating with shotgun. I'm there with this.
Red net sniping.
That's last bullet.
Going outside, Dylan. On my fan.
He's weak right nest. Wait, just one shot. It's just one shot right nest.
You gotta try to help him.
Okay.
Hey, man, Ace, two here. Three outside.
I'm baiting. I have to bait it. I have to bait it. I have to live.
Rocket on red vent.
Let's try to get this sniper. I got one. He's outside blue. Outside one shot. Two outside red. Red band right now. They have rockets outside red. They shot one. They have shotgun going alley.
Turbine, Maniac.
Shotgun going tower. They're going tower rockets. Yeah.
Sneaky?
Maniac's
in pit. Maniac's in pit.
I hear you pit. They have rocks in tower though. Just live. I'm gonna push pit if I can.
He's there. He's in pit.
Yeah, really weak.
I don't see him.
Ace's old camo.
Yo, turbine. Red fan.
I'm coming outside to help.
All right, we've got a close match, 32-32, and definitely hearing a little bit of confusion at times between eLevate, whether they should make a push or what they're actually going to do. No one really stepping up and saying what to do at a certain time in the game, and you never want to have that confusion. You just want to have a set strategy and what play you're going to make, but there you see it. Now eLevate is going to be able to take a 1-kill lead. Let's move over to Randa now and see what he is up to outside with a sniper.
And he does have that moving around. He's grabbed one headshot so far with this weapon. I still like this map positioning. You know, they're locking it down, working together as a team, just barely missing the snipe on that player. Now he is starting to get collapsed on straight stick with the shotgun, charging in fast as he possibly can. There are several members of OpTic Gaming there. Several members from both teams going down. This game's still all tied up here, just over 4 minutes left. Of course, if this were to be tied at the end of the regulation time, which we have seen before here on Eden Slayer, there will be an extra 3 minutes added to the clock as far as overtime is concerned.
Definitely. Now, eLevate with the better control right now, but OpTic Gaming able to take the lead by 1 kill. Randa's going to pick up a headshot on straight stick, looking to pick up the double. Down to 1 shot. VTech's going to take him down, going up now 39-38. OpTic Gaming trying to get this win here. eLevate trying to stay alive. Randa playing very good right now, staying alive, rotating around the map, being in a perfect position for this next rocket that's coming up.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do. He did not overcommit going over towards blue. He's actually going to drop that sniper. It was out of ammo, grab these new rockets, and this is a great position to be on now. If you're in eLevate, you've got a little under 4 minutes left in this game. You got a 1-kill lead and the fresh set of rockets. So I'd like to see them all kind of focus, make sure they're setting up and controlling here maybe more at red base, as that's where you want to set up. You want to set up and work around the players on your map, on your team, essentially, that are the most important. And right now, that's Randa.
Yeah, and you can see gameplay slowing down. This is good on OpTic Gaming's part, just because they know they are down. They know Randa has rockets, or they know the other team has rockets, but not exactly where. Randa fires a rocket off. That's just pretty much going to let OpTic know where the rocket player is at. He's not going to be able to get any connection there. Still, very slow gameplay. OpTic trying to make a move. You see a player over by tower, getting some shots. They're able to take down Nemesis. They're making a push, taking down Randa with the rockets, but there's a player right there to pick them up. He's going to pick up a kill. VTech staying alive. He's got 2 rockets left, but falls into a player inside the base. Now Maniac has these rockets.
And he just put that the shotgun on respawn there as well. So he's moving around with these rockets. They're going to want to try to set up around tower here. Hopefully grab that new weapon, as it is essentially really powerful. We've seen players throughout the regular season really put that weapon to use. And it was a giant factor here when CLG came back and actually beat Envy in this game, Game 5 during the regular season as well. That shotgun played a huge role.
Right now, Maniac just trying to stay alive. They do have the lead right now, so no need to make any bad mistakes here. And you have 2 rockets. This should be 2 kills. He's going to fire off 1, not get any connection. A player down low. He does connect with that second grenade. Will take down VTech, 45-42. Now OpTic is playing aggressive. Look at this. They're making a push towards outside. Maniac fires again. He misses and will go down. Both players go down, but APG has the sniper inside of blue. Now OpTic Gaming is getting control of the power weapons here at the end of the match, and when they need it the most. They do not have many power weapon kills, but this is when they need to turn this up. Use this sniper to close out the match. Let APG snipe. You do not need to put yourself in a bad position. Let eLevate make the mistake. APG's in the best spot in the game right now. You've got all players just hiding back. Let's jump into observer mode to see where those players are exactly. You've got pretty much all 4 players over by the red base. And I believe there's a player hiding right over by that red side of the turbine. You've got 2 players hiding right there. So nobody's giving him any type of look, but we're about to have a minute left in the game. eLevate will need to make a push here.
And VTech is trying to sneak around with rockets over by tower side. You might see him pop up on the player outline. He's trying to work around, get some kills, but just like that, Maniac with the shotgun, like we said, grabbing a kill. Another headshot out of APG here now. This one is slowly starting to go in favor of OpTic. Less than a minute left, only 1 kill to go. Nemesis and the rest of the eLevate had to play that perfectly. Unfortunately, they will not be able to do so. And now, falling and currently 0-6 now in this tournament, and OpTic Gaming taking a quick 2-0 lead.
OpTic has got to be feeling good, especially with how little power weapon control they had. When you look at the power weapon kills over on eLevate, they had 16 Elamites, 16 power weapon kills. OpTic on the other side only had 9. Now, it was very weird seeing eLevate have the control across the board, but still not have the lead when they had rockets and sniper. At some point, someone's got to not die there. You can't be putting yourself in a bad situation. You got to sometimes let the rocket guy and let the sniper guy do all the work.
I mean, essentially towards the end of that game here. Oh, and this is the play, the sickest one, all finals long so far. APG getting destroyed there, and then another amazing shot by Straightsick. And somehow he was still taken out. And OpTic Gaming, even with 3 members dying, 2 Randa and his sniper there, were able to regain control. The power weapons clearly, majority of the time, in favor of OpTic Gaming, or excuse me, in favor of eLevate, but OpTic Gaming just too strong, too aggressive. They weren't able to set up and stay alive long enough to actually effectively use them.
Well, we saw VTech at the end of that match right there. He had rockets, but Maniac was hiding in the tower with shotgun. He was able to take down VTech, pretty much saying, you have no chance of winning now. We have shotgun, we have rockets, and we have sniper.
And Maniac with that shotgun, like we said, the shotgun's played a huge role, even though it's such a giant map, Eden. There's so many lines of sight. You wouldn't expect there to be so many up-close 1v1 battles, but with the amount of, with radar on and the ability to hide around certain corners here, you just see it used so effectively.
All right, well, there you see it on your screen. We've got the series layout. OpTic Gaming takes game number 1, 100-28. OpTic Gaming then takes game number 2, 50-46. It definitely was a battle, though, from eLevate. Very close throughout the entire match, but OpTic Gaming was able to get control of that sniper and the rocket when they needed to the most at the end of the match. Now, if you'll see at the bottom of your screen, visit halo.gg and use the code LOCKOUT3. A little throwback to Halo 2. If you ever played Lockout Snipes back in the day, that was probably like my go-to. I love playing Lockout Snipes, the midship free-for-all. And if you visit the site, make sure you sign into your Xbox Live gamer tag and then put in that code. You will be granted a Xbox Live Gold Rec Pack for Halo 5. And yeah, make sure you do that. We'll be plugging these throughout the day and throughout tomorrow as well. So a lot of free stuff to get.
And you got to make sure you stay on top of that because, like we mentioned, it's only good for about 5 minutes or so. So you need to make sure you get your hands on that quickly. Essentially, pull up maybe 2 web browsers there,
right
one
now.
for the stream.
Get
and
your
one
phone
for
out, Elamite. Let's put it in right now. Get a free gold rec pack. Now, OpTic Gaming, though, up 2-0. Looking to go up 3-0. Look at the guys here on OpTic. They're communicating. They're talking right now about what they're going to do. The guys over on eLevate, before this match, before game 2, you were saying how they just look so quiet, how they just kind of look dead with their emotion, with their energy. But look at Straightsick right now. He's kind of leading the conversation, trying to get everyone into it, what they need to talk about. And you got Ace right there talking back. Maniac looking so focused right now, just eyes on the screen, just ready to play this next game.
I mean, OpTic Gaming, I'd say they're playing and shooting better here now than they were earlier on in the day, and it's absolutely starting to show. So Liquid 4-0'd eLevate to begin with, and now if OpTic Gaming is able to come out and kind of do the same thing, we might actually have some pretty interesting series coming up for the rest of this day as well, with Liquid and Denial, and then of course the loser of that match going up against the winner of this round.
All right, well, we're playing Capture the Flag on Fathom. That's first to 3 caps will win. We've got Railgun bottom middle and Camo top middle. We're now on board with Ace, trying to stay alive here at his side, bottom middle. barely alive with a sliver of shield. He is able to get the railgun. That's going to be 2 down for eLevate. This is OpTic's time to make a push. Now 3 down for eLevate. I love this play by Ace. He realizes that, and he's just flying across the map. But he does know that players did spawn in their base. He's waiting for them to push out to potentially get a kill or 2. You've got Straight Sick here as well. They are able to get a trade. 1 down for OpTic, 1 down for eLevate. And, you know, Ace, instead of pushing in with the railgun and potentially losing it, he's going to stay back and try and pick up a few more kills, then push in. A great play here by Ace.
And I really like this map movement. He's trying to work around his teammates. He initially pushed up, trying to protect Straight Sick, who had that camo. He does jump into the base, grab a railgun kill, but there's another player here from eLevate hiding in the engine area who will pick up that kill. Now, great job by Brainstorm here, staying alive, pushing Straight Sick, or making Straight Sick commit to that fight, and he is ultimately dropped as well. Brainstorm kind of just looking around, making sure he can push out of his base here without dying. You've got eLevate all playing really slow. Looks like they had kind of an opportunity to push, but none of them even made it past that 50-yard line. This is giving OpTic Gaming a great job to push back into this game, and just like that, Ace off the respawn picks up that kill on Brainstorm.
Going to pick up the double kill as well and start to make that push in again. And actually, Straight Sick is already pushing into the base. If he can stay alive and get a kill, yes, he is able to do so. That's 2 down for eLevate. Now they just need to push this flag out of the base. Let's move over to APG. He's moving this flag through the treehouse right now, moving it over to top middle. He knows he doesn't have any players over by his vat, so he's going to move this towards an area where he can at least have the potential choice to make an escape route. You can go pretty much anywhere here from top middle, and he realizes now's the opening. There's someone top middle and throwing that flag in front of his base. That's going to make it very easy for his team to protect if a player or 2 goes down on OpTic Gaming. Now he has the railgun in hand as well, putting himself in a good position, and he has a player running that flag back into the base as well.
Now with both flags out, they're going to have to focus on the return. APG is pushing. I really like what he did before. He ran the flag over, kept it top center as long as he possibly could before he had to drop it down, tosses it to a teammate, grabs a new railgun. He's already grabbed 1 kill here with this weapon. Did just see someone pop up on his screen there for a moment. Good job kind of crouching around, making sure he's not showing up on radar yet. Is getting shot out from blue base, so he is going to back down here, make sure he just keeps this flag runner alive.
It's all coming down to who can make the better push here. We saw earlier in the tournament, we saw Cloud9 and CLG have one of the longest standoffs we've ever seen. It's all about making that one big push. That's 2 down for eLevate. APG sees the opening. He's making a push, spots the flag, not able to connect with the railgun. He will go down, but he does have a teammate nearby. Ace will fall as well. We've got Straight Sick all the way back at the base, just holding this flag, and then back on the other side, there's the flag sitting inside the base, and I believe that might be VTech. Actually, no, not VTech. Nemesis holding the flag back here.
And he is, I like this angle here, just sitting on elbow, trying to spot if any players push over through treehouse, backs down after he sees 2 teammates die. Ace is going to be dropped by a nade after that double kill. That's going to put the railgun here now in the hands of Randall. So he only has 1 shot left in this weapon, really wants to put it to good use. And we've got a new railgun here spawning in 20 seconds, just barely missing Maniac on that one, so he's going to be out of ammo. It's probably not something that OpTic Gaming currently knows, but Maniac did spot him jump into bottom center. You can see players spawn on Randa's radar right now, but none of them are actually bottom. They're both top center here at this point, and the flag still out there, but still currently on lockdown here by eLevate.
Yeah, neither team really being able to make it past that 50-yard line. Both players on both sides just constantly going down, but now we have Maniac with the railgun. I'd love to see if he's able to put this to good use and push this up past that 50-yard line and potentially get a return there. He is able to take down VTech, and Randa will go down to Ace. That's going to be 2 down for both teams, though. I mean, just back and forth. This could be it, though. This could be the play we've been waiting for. If Maniac, with this camo, if he's able to make that push up into the base and sneak all the way in, they could potentially get this flag return, but he does not want to be spotted. Potentially not even want to use the railgun shot when he's sneaking around. Just try and get into that base.
And it looks like Straight Sick gets a stick there on VTech, so Maniac's going to back down, start committing back to eLevate's base, see if he can make any moves here. Now he really wants to wait for a teammate before he overcommits to anything, but grabbing 1 quick kill on Brainstorm there. Straight Sick does fall to Randa, as you can see in the kill feed. Looks like they know he's running around in this base, but not able to do enough there. Nemesis, great splinter nade here by Randa coming off the spawn there, and he's going to be able to get the new touch.
All right, and APG is back at the base, just hanging out still with the flag over here as you see two players from OpTic spawn up, now trying to make a push out of their base. Let's move over to Ace as he's pushing in to the treehouse. Nate's coming in from top middle, trying to spot this player. He is top middle. He was one shot, not able to connect and finish that there. Railgun will be up soon. Camo shortly after, about the 5:45 mark, I believe. Ace is going to pick up the double kill now, start to make this push. If he can get his teammates to push up with him, they could potentially get a return here. Ace spotting him, but Randa with a monster kill there on Ace to stop that push from OpTic. Randa does fall. Nemesis in the base with flag still. We've got Brainstorm top middle trying to take down Maniac top middle, fighting a 1v1. He will back down though. Railgun back up. It's on the map. Which team can get control of this to potentially use this? Ace is going to get the railgun back over to Ace, going for the double kill. He falls just back and forth still. Neither team able to just have one solid good push.
Straight Stick here now is going to nose that railgun down, going to push out of the base. He's going top center. That camo is going to be up at 5:32, so both teams need to make sure they have that on timer and want to focus and get in position to grab that. I would have liked to see Straight Stick go top center there. He had the railgun. There were several members down for eLevate, and that camo was currently up here. We'll take a look to see if any players have been able to grab that. It looks like currently it just now got burned.
All right, on with Maniac right now as eLevate has one down. OpTic still feels like OpTic is just constantly the ones top middle and the ones kind of holding down that middle part of the map, but just they need to make a push in and sneak in. Maniac almost had it earlier with that camo, but unfortunately wasn't able to make anything happen. But look at this, Ace trying to push into the base, realizes there's no chance he's gonna stop this flag, to return this flag, because he is by himself. So excellent play by him to just let it go, forget about it. But there's a player sneaking around. It's going to be Randa. He will take Randa down with a punch to the face. That's going to be 2 down for eLevate, 2 down for OpTic. Again, we're about at the 4:30 mark right now. Nothing has happened for, I want to say, almost the 10-minute mark. We've been at a standoff here.
All right, but you see OpTic Gaming, even though neither team's really been able to grab that much control or even remotely get close to a return, essentially, it really feels like OpTic Gaming's maintained more control than eLevate. And just like that, VTech gets caught peeking out, and Ace hits him with that railgun shot to take him out. That's 2 down now for eLevate. Perfect opportunity. Ace and Maniac here need to work together and collapse on this base. They have the numbers advantage. If they can kill one of these spawners, they have a good opportunity to get a return here. Ace trying to wait for help as long as possible. Maniac pushed back a little bit there, maybe. He needs to be able to focus and work together. Just like that, nobody from OpTic able to put together a coordinated enough push. It really looked like the players were going to push up from elbow.
These guys are putting up a brick wall right now and saying, no, you are not getting into our base. Everything OpTic has attempted and tried to do is just, it's not working. eLevate just has a massive defensive wall around their base, and just every single time OpTic tries to push, they just get finished off. But we've got Nemesis making a push over here in the treehouse right now. He's going to get a splinter grenade on Straight Stick and take him down. One player will swoop by. Maniac to pick up a double kill as well. We've got Brainstorm picking up the camo. That's a triple kill for Maniac. But by the time they push up, those players are going to be spawning up already. And there you see it. Players already spawned up. We've got a player over on the other side. That's going to be APG pushing in, trying to get some shots on that flag carrier. You've got APG and Maniac trying to push in. APG doing everything he can to try and get this kill. He gets the help from Ace. They will get that push. Ace flying into the base. That flag is down. This player doing everything he can to stay alive. He gets it out to that front window, and Ace cannot stop him. Still, eLevate holding on for dear life to not allow OpTic to get this flag return.
And OpTic still playing aggressive. Straight Stick almost with the amazing shots to take that player out. Nick or Maniac here pushing up. I do like what we see now. APG and Maniac using teamwork here. Get a double team on VTech momentarily. Now they need to make sure that they're waiting for at least one more player from OpTic before they push all the way up here. The players have just been spawning too quickly for them to really have any great coordinated numbers advantage push.
This just feels way too reminiscent of that CLG Cloud9 series when it went pretty much to the exact same time with nothing happening. If it's about the same, if it's going to be that same scenario, I think a cap should happen here in a very short amount of time. But we've got about a minute. We've got Railgun up as well. Maniac with it again. I believe that's going to be, that's 10 power weapon kills that OpTic has. That's going to be 2 down for OpTic, though, 1 down for eLevate. Maniac going for the double. He's able to get connection, looks for the triple. That player will back down by the VAT. Maniac's going to put some more pressure on, but that player snuck away into the treehouse. Maniac looking to try and find him. He spots him on the radar. He's not going to make that push. He sees 2 players in there on his radar. Just hanging out, waiting for those players to get weak, and now making a flank. Tries to get a connection with that railgun, not able to do so, but he is able to stay alive, keeping that railgun in the hands of OpTic Gaming. Ace being that first person to make that push in. Maniac now pushing into the base. You've got Nemesis at the front door. Maniac looking to pick up this kill, but Nemesis doing some great work at using that door as pretty much a defense and making it impossible for Maniac to get anything with that railgun.
And VTech there sneaks up behind him, does take him out, grabs the last railgun shot here in this weapon. Now he's got railgun and light rifle, two of the best weapons or combos you can have, but Ace being a sneaky little beaver here, working around eLevate space, pushing in, trying to find that flag carrier.
This could be it. This could be it. Look, he's going to get the return. We're going to move over to APG. APG gets the capture. We're less than 40 seconds left. That's what you need to do with Camo. Ace coming in clutch for his team right now, but that's 2 down for OpTic. eLevate has got to move quick. They've got to get into their base. They've got to get a flag moving.
And that was almost exactly, like you said earlier, what we saw in that C9 versus CLG series. I think it was like 52 seconds that flag was put in. APG with a big double kill, maybe the triple here. He is going for it. He gets dropped. That flag is currently out. Looks like last player alive. He's going to drop, but OpTic Gaming also grabbed the new flag with 5 seconds left here. They're not going to be able to put it in time, and this is going to be a 3-0 series lead now for OpTic Gaming.
I mean, you really got to give credit to your brother Ace there. I mean, that play, just not even shooting anyone. He just crouched the entire way. He snuck his way all the way through. I mean, he had camo, and he was still crouching.
And crouching, the up and down crouch to try to eliminate any footsteps that he's making there on for the the headphones listening and the players and the flag carrier kind of staring at the wall there. Kind of an interesting play. Maybe you're just staring at the radar essentially.
Plays.
But the stats pretty amazing there as well.
23 kills from Ace and 22 from Maniac, putting up together a total of 45 kills. I mean, some big numbers. Over on the other side, a weak performance from VTech, only 7 kills and 17 deaths. But, I mean, even you saw Ace, he didn't even bother shooting the weapon. He wanted to make sure he just got the quick assassination. It was a one and done, and he was able to get that return.
And the reason, like, when you go into his head and think about what he wanted to do there, he noticed the player did not catch the glimpse of the camo showing up from any corner of his screen, and rather than shooting that storm rifle and going for like a melee there, that gives the flag carrier an opportunity to thrust in either or direction and just keep the flag away from Ace long enough to maybe where his teammates or the rest of eLevate can collapse and try to prevent that from happening. But Ace sneaks around, goes all the way up behind him, make sure he has a guaranteed back whack so that he can immediately start that return, get it back as fast as possible.
There you see Flamesword on your screen. You hear him a few times during the listen-in, kind of being that support and making sure his team is getting those power weapons and power-ups. Now, OpTic had 13 railgun kills that last game. 13 on the other side. Guess how many kills? 0, even might. Not a single railgun kill. So, I mean, they put up a good fight. It was down to the wire, but when we talk about getting those power weapons, it's such a key to winning a match.
And looking at the total kills, 73 to 50. So heavily outslaying eLevate once again in that game number 3 Fathom CTF. And it was, or the entire game, it felt like, was played from eLevate's side. It was just nonstop OpTic aggression, but falling short. But they're yet still pushing across the map, grabbing 2, 3, even 4 kills sometimes. You know, we saw a great triple kill from Maniac, followed up by another double kill from APG. Yet grabbing those 5 kills in a row, still not able to actually secure the return there and put in that capture. So that stalemate was quite long. Now, taking a look at some of these map vetoes, of course, with this being Empire here, we are looking at another Strongholds because Plaza was already played. You then had OpTic Gaming banning Eden, followed up by a Rig ban here by eLevate. So I kind of like that ban from eLevate's side. They know that OpTic Gaming did take this game type away from Counter Logic Gaming during the regular season, so it looks like they are really attacking OpTic Gaming's strongest game types.
Definitely. Well, truly now, eLevate's backs are against the wall. they have to make a reverse sweep happen right now. OpTic Gaming just needs to win one game to close this out. eLevate will go home and have to play through the open circuit once again in the fall season to try and attempt to get back into the Pro League once again. But, you know, OpTic Gaming proving that they are still tough, that they still have this in them. They want to be in the Pro League. They want to fight for that coveted spot. Let's see if they can close it out here in a 4-0 fashion.
I mean, that'll be pretty impressive to see, but eLevate, at this point here, you know, it's still absolutely possible to bring this one back and secure a win. But like I said, after the first 2 and now 3 games, they've not picked up a win yet, losing initially 0-4 to OpTic, and then 0-3 now here to Liquid, and then 0-3 here to OpTic.
All right, you've got 2 players from OpTic, 3 players from OpTic fighting for this overshield here outside. So great teamwork from these guys. You've got Maniac pushing up, potentially giving his teammates the opportunity to get that overshield, which indeed he did. Now Straightsik with the OS. He's got Ace right nearby, but during this time, they lost that pit control. They did get overshield, and he gets assassinated by Nemesis. So not only did they not get pit, they got overshield, and then they lost it with an assassination. So not a good start there from OpTic Gaming.
I really liked what I saw, the teamwork, the bait and switches from OpTic Gaming there, initially going for that overshield, but as soon as they actually secured it and picked up the kills, Brainstorm going super clutch and picking up a kill on Ace, and Straightsik preventing that pit from being captured. So Brainstorm really stepping up here now for eLevate. However, that's going to be the first points here now on the board for OpTic Gaming. APG running around with that saw. He is eventually dropped as well.
All right, let's move over to Randa. And you know what? Let's listen to these guys' comms because they are fighting for their lives right now. Let's jump on with and listen in with eLevate.
Front blue bend. Nice. Live.
Blue bend.
Front blue.
I'm living. I'm crouching.
Two outside. Blue CT outside blue.
Turbine, Ace, APG.
Hey, we gotta live.
I'm gonna die outside. There's 2 outside. 2 outside. One shot in turbine. 2 outside. 3 outside.
Yeah, live. One down hit.
There's 2 up pit. Watch turbine. Someone push turbine.
2 dead.
Shot
turbine.
I can't get turbine.
He's still one shot outside red. Outside Anchor red.
I'm pushing toward blue.
I hear you blue.
Stay out here though. Blue plat.
Okay, I hear you blue plat.
He's weak.
Yo, blue lights, Ace, really weak.
Are you blue lights?
Blue lights.
I won.
There's 2
Really,
there.
absolute.
One shot Ace. Top tower, and I died.
Can't die, guys.
I died, yeah, that's my fault. Red lights.
Kill me, Zen. Right, they're gonna go for pit, guys.
They're gonna go for red. He's red window.
Ace in the pit. I'm playing, I can't do anything.
Yeah, leave it.
One shot. Top pit. Straight stick.
Inside red.
He's getting blue. Get blue with me.
They don't know
There's
you're
only
there.
one at red. He's in blue BR.
Hurry.
Stop red, they stopped gold.
Outside red.
OS 42.
We gotta go for OS.
I hear you OS.
Saw them blue.
Red window.
Red blue, go for OS.
Stay blue, guys. Stay blue.
Okay.
Right below us, Tristan.
Blue band.
I died, Sam. We're 3 dead, yeah.
There OS 40.
Yeah, we gotta live. Watch
Outside
her.
red.
Oh,
2 outside red. 2 outside red. I spawned tower.
Watch it on the BR.
I spawned tower.
One dead.
Bird band.
Outside red. We hit shots. Nice kill. 2 dead.
Yeah, one's in the back.
Still.
I already saw.
Blue band. Watch
Blue
turbine.
Yo, one's behind us.
Red fan.
Behind us.
Still red fan.
Red fan.
Push this guy red fan.
Are you red fan?
Live.
One shot red fan.
Got one. One's outside blue crouching.
How are you?
I'm tower.
Lights.
I'm baiting pit.
Turbine.
Sneaky.
Still one shot.
Dead. I need up pit.
How are you?
In blue. Blue window.
Yeah,
Blue
we
court.
Get shots. Dead.
Get blue.
2 front blue.
We're fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna anchor it on
Blue still.
Outside blue fan right now.
Get numbers to
Blue
outside.
fan. I hear you. Okay. All right.
Push on turbine.
I'm pushing red band.
I'm pushing up. I don't know where he's
I'm on the
at.
band. The blue band shooting me.
I'm right stick right now. Outside blue weak.
APG 2 on fan.
Red lights, guys.
Got one. APG still one hit.
Turbine.
I don't see
One in
APG.
the pit. One in the top tower.
Live. What are we doing?
Top tower. I died from grenade. Yeah, he's red fan.
Alright. 2 in red. The blue court really weak. APG under the sneak.
We're taking away.
Go blue.
Alright,
Go blue.
Alright.
Blue closet weak. Blue closet weak.
I'm pushing blue.
2 in blue closet.
I'm looking
2
blue
guys.
closet.
I'm laying it.
I'm pushing it.
He has combo. He's dead. I got him.
I died.
Alright, I got
We
one.
gotta live.
We need to get control of turbine.
We're 2 dead right now.
Alright. He's in pit.
We have to slay.
I'm slaying.
I'm
How
going blue band.
are you blue van? I'm in tower. I'm in turbine. Top tower. Ace.
39
We can turbine maniac. Nice. 2 dead.
39 OS.
Get out of pit. I need help.
You gotta pick it. So one up here right now weak. It's a pit weak.
2 of them. There's 2 of them.
Ace is one hit red court.
How are you red court?
So your saws are bent. We gotta get outside for us.
Alright. We're gonna watch
39.
I heard 39.
Yo, top tower and on the west. They're on the west. We
I'm
got
outside. Blue band's weak. Blue band's one shot. Watch out, blue band. There's one more outside.
blue window. He's gonna push blue.
There's two outside. Two outside blue. Two outside blue. They're gonna get it. They're gonna get OS.
Oh no, I'm watching it.
He's blue fan right now. He's blue fan.
I need help.
Two blue fan. Two blue fan. Two blue fan. Turbine right
Oh,
now.
no, west, guys.
I hear you OS. I'll
Okay,
cap red.
Got it.
I'm bidding with BR.
OS is pushing. OS is pushing.
I'm red window. I hit three. I got three.
Tower won it.
I heard tower.
Do you guys
It's not red.
Do you guys
I got one.
Red.
It's not red. It's not red. I died.
I gotta wait for you guys. I'm getting on the bend.
He's red player now. He's red player going top tower.
Top tower, red side. OS is blue bend.
Blue lights. Ace is
Coming.
really weak.
And just like that, look at OpTic Gaming's teamwork collapsing, holding this triple cap for so long in eLevate. You know, you hear it several different times during that game, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, someone is not stepping up and taking that leadership role. Finally, you see one of these strongholds going back in the favor of eLevate. That's going to be blue base here, but Maniac playing it perfectly, not overcommitting to anything, just waiting patiently. As long as they hold these two strongholds, you're completely fine. And if they do start going for a red base here, I'd like to see him focus on blue. You have a player jumping out on him. Randa does go for that challenge, picks up one kill, but Strasic running around with that Saw there, picking up 2 kills and quickly just putting OpTic Gaming right back in this.
And like you said, you can't be questioning what you're doing here in the match. You have to have a game plan that should try to be figured out before the game starts on what you're going to be doing, and you can't be questioning what you're doing.
And hopefully before you get to the tournament, you'll have most of those things figured out. I mean, these guys have been putting in countless hours, but when you're practicing, you need to make sure that practice counts, and it seems like they just don't have a game plan. You really want to know what you want to do in every situation that you could possibly find yourself in. Of course, that is impossible to do, but you want to set yourself up for the most success possible.
Now we've got straight 6 bottom middle. OpTic Gaming 94-35, looking to keep themselves alive throughout the relegation matches, fighting for a coveted spot in the next season of the Pro League. OpTic Gaming is still alive, folks, 97-35. That looks like it's going to be all she wrote. OpTic Gaming is going to move on to fight another day here. There you see it, OpTic Gaming staying strong.
And just great play overall from them. They look like they're back to clicking here. They're so hit or miss over the regular season. Even after that victory, not a whole lot of celebration coming out from them, but it was a pretty convincing win.
They know they still have, they haven't finished what they needed to do yet. They know they have another big match ahead of them, so that's why they're staying so focused. They can't really get happy just yet. They can be happy that they won that, but you got another match, and it's going to be a long series.
Right, and of course, either going up against the loser of this Denial and Liquid series, and of course, OpTic Gaming already falling to Denial once so far. Just take a look at some of the highlights here from this match, and this was really a runaway game, or even a runaway series for OpTic Gaming.
Without a doubt, and actually this was the moment where it seemed like the players on eLevate were asking, what are we doing, what are we doing? And no one on the team spoke up really to say exactly what are we doing. Definitely a lot of confusion out of the team there, and OpTic Gaming just held that 3 cap for too long. The guys on eLevate were getting a lot of slays, but they weren't capitalizing and capturing a stronghold. Yes, they're slaying, but you got to get a capture and try and turn things around, especially on Empire. It's so fast of a game type. You got to be pushing in for a stronghold. You can't be scared. Someone's got to be leading the charge there and putting themselves out there. You may die, but someone's got to initiate something.
Right, take a look at this series. Games 1 and 4, those 2 strongholds not that close, but games 2 and 3 could have absolutely gone either way. That one flag capture on Fathom, keep in mind, was Ace with the camo making a really crucial route on the map to get behind the flag carrier and actually focus on that return.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give props to OpTic Gaming, though. I mean, definitely on a long journey right now, but they're not putting their heads down. They're staying focused. You heard Flamesword telling his team to keep it up, and obviously not too many smiles, more dedication and more focus. And I really like how we saw Straight Sick when we were viewing the team cam, where he's just kind of the one initiating the conversation. He's talking to Ace, he's saying, hey, pretty much what are we going to do in this next game type, and constantly keeping his team on his feet. But it sounds like we do have Dan Gaskin on the floor with an interview, so over to you, Gaskin.
Thank you very much. I'm joined by the OpTic Beard himself. It is Flamesword. That was a nice, confident win from you guys. I think that's exactly what you needed. Was there any pressure there because you did know that if you had lost that, you would have been exiting Pro League?
Oh, definitely a ton of pressure for both teams. I mean, we know that if you win or lose, it's going to make or break you into the Pro League. So we know that we still have a fighting chance to remain and hold that seed. We got to see who wins the next match to see who we're going to play. Obviously, the loser, and then continue on from there.
And if you were to come up against Denial again and have that rematch, how are you guys going to approach that one, knowing that you have already lost to them today?
We already lost them today, but I feel like there were 2 games that should have gone our way that at the last moment they ended up clutching up, and I feel like when we do replay, if that is the team to replay, that we'll kind of go into it more confident. Kind of from what Ace has been saying over here, he's felt that he's just felt more knowledgeable being on this setup versus that one because you had 2 teams playing, so you had all that hectic noise. So over here with the white noise, it's a lot more calm. You can concentrate on yourself, and I think we'll do a lot better against them if we do play them again.
Okay, now obviously you used to be a player, now you're coaching. How important a role is it as a coach? Is there certain things you'd be expecting a coach to do? Do you think maybe power-ups is the most important thing, or just keeping a team calm?
I think it's really different with every type of player. Me as a player, I really just want the coach to kind of tell me the power up because, I mean, we're the ones playing every single day, so we know how to play the game. So we just want that kind of back voice when I'm the player. Versus then, it seems to be the same thing. Just tell me the power up times. I like it a lot better, obviously, when you're actually behind all 4 guys because you can see the screens. It's easier to pick up who picked up what, and you could tell someone, hey, flank, you have an open flank. You could come do this. So it's a lot better, obviously, during events because you could watch all screens. But specifically me, I just want to know the times because we know how to do everything else as a player.
Okay, just quickly, are OpTic going to stay in the Pro League, yes or no?
Yes.
Well, you heard it from the man himself. OpTic will stay in the Pro League. So let's jump back over to Bravo and the boys down at the desk.
All right, thanks, Gaskin. Of course, OpTic Gaming making very quick work of their opponents, guys. When you look at that series, really, I think OpTic dominated in just about every single category.
Yeah, I mean, when I was watching over there earlier on, they look good, fair enough. They lost out to Denial, unfortunately, and they are down in this loser bracket fighting for survivability. But we said it before, the main stage really breeds the best in these guys. They are main stage players at the end of the day. And they 4-0'd it. They cleaned it out. They're going to move on through the loser bracket. And honestly, they look good. They look strong. But it's whether or not, I mean, Flamesword's confident. He says they're going to be in fall season, but there's still a decent road ahead of them.
Yeah, that's what you want to instill, that positivity into your team's head. So glad to see Flamesword doing that. You could just see that amazing play from Randa. Randa was really just like the Lone Ranger there. I felt like he was, the only player for eLevate that was playing up to the OpTic standards in this series. Just unfortunate that the rest of his teammates couldn't do the same. And that's really just the worst feeling. You got to really feel for eLevate because they, literally could have just slept in and then maybe enjoyed a, day in LA, wandering around the town. And it's just the worst feeling when you can't walk away with anything positive. You can't walk away with any type of W, maybe just a couple close games, but it's going to really leave a sour taste in your mouth.
Yeah, it definitely is. As I look across that series, here you see exactly the series score. If you're just joining us, OpTic Gaming 4-0 over eLevate. That Eden Slayer, what an interesting game. You had a 50-40-6 win. However, eLevate, 6 power weapon grabs, 16 kills. OpTic only had 3 grabs and 9 kills, right? So you have eLevate controlling every single power weapon and getting, almost double their opponent's kills. Right? We also have, of course, VTech as well, getting 16 deaths in this game and ended up being a close one. I
mean, Tom kind of alluded to it, how much work Randa was doing that, and his backpack was well and truly stuffed full. But at the end of the day, and I still stand by this, there's been no Halo game to date so far that takes as much teamwork and team effort as this one. And as you can see now, looking at the bracket, it is updated. Team Liquid at the top advance on to face off against Denial Esports. Obviously, the winner of that bags themselves and solidifies their seat in the fall season. Down below, OpTic Gaming will advance. And they will take on another challenger to see if they can, again, will they move on? Will it be Liquid who drop down to face them? They're currently in the Pro League with them. Or will they have to reface Denial Esports again?
Well, here's the thing is Liquid, it's crazy that they're in this relegation because within the last probably 10 days, maybe 2 weeks, they've literally looked like maybe the second best team in the league when you actually look at the scrims. They're really scary and they're coming together. And Denial is one of the hottest teams, the hottest team and most well-rounded and versatile team coming out from the Legendary side. So that's going to be one heck of a match that we have coming up there. OpTic definitely needs to watch this next series, see maybe even what was banned. Remember when I was talking about earlier, look for what the teams are banning first. That's obviously their weakest game type. OpTic has a lot of time here to strategize, and that should give them a little bit of an advantage moving forward now because whoever's going to lose, not feeling so hot, they just came off a 4-0 win, so the momentum is on OpTic Gaming side.
Yeah, also one thing I want to see from OpTic specifically is really getting on the same page in terms of objective work. I was really amazed in that Fathom CTF one note I took. At the 5:30 mark, we were tied 0-0. At that time, OpTic had 4 power weapon grabs and 9 kills. eLevate hadn't had a single one. And in the end, it was only a 2-0 win, I think, on that Fathom CTF. OpTic had outslayed them 73-50.
Yeah.
And they had 13 power weapon kills against 0. I think they talked about it on the desk. That is not the correct way, I think we can all agree, to play a Fathom CTF.
Well, when I go and I look at past play styles that these guys have had in Halo, APG never has been known as an objective player. Ace, kind of an objective player, but more about slaying, staying alive, straight sick as well. Great communicator, all these guys. Maniac, kind of an overall player too. So no one really stands out like when you look at Snakebite, how strong Snakebite is just doing everything, so well-rounded when it comes to just his overall game. Someone from OpTic's gonna have to show up, but the thing is individually they all shine. This is the first time that OpTics looks so strong in a really long time.
I think my most important thing there is in the back, you've got Flamesword. He's a captain. He's a born leader. He knows what needs to be done at the right time. He was never this big old slayer, and every time he's played, he's always been the one that knows what you've got to do to get the job done at the end of the day. And having him behind them, and again, me listening to his communication and stuff, kind of rallying these guys back. But then you've got Straight Sick, throwing the hype out there, throwing the power between the players. Yeah, there's still a long road to go, but these guys can do it, and I've spoken to a couple of the pro players here, and they truly believe that OpTic can stay in for fall season.
Yeah, I think, yeah, absolutely. I also heard, you were talking about Liquid as well earlier. Yeah. I heard Spartan just mention to his teammates, he's like, man, I wish we were playing in finals, because he's so confident about how they're playing.
They're looking that good, no doubt about it. After so far today, we have what looks to be the 9 best teams in North America. And then you have pretty much 3 people fighting for 2 spots. It's going to be very disappointing for whatever team doesn't make it in. However, you got to assume that team is going to be the favorite for possibly coming up from the legendary bracket moving forward.
Right, of course, soon we're going to have Liquid versus Denial coming up in just a bit. Of course, loser of that will face OpTic Gaming. That will determine our second relegation team, but lots more Halo action coming up. Be sure to let us know who you think is going to take these last 2 fall spots on Twitter using hashtag HCS and tweeting at HCS and at ESL Halo. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us so far today. We've got a lot more coming up. Don't go anywhere. More Halo action live from LA in just a bit.